What are you doing? Working hard? Hardly working?
We're working hard.
Valerie lost her feet again. Here they are.
So hot that I like burying my feet in these cool, wet rocks.
Yep. Okay, we're done for the day. We've got pretty much most of the framing in except for this section on the front where all the angles are at. We'll do that tomorrow. But you can kind of get a real good idea of how things are laying out here. So you can see all my rebar is at least 3. I like to have 4 inches away from the outside of your concrete. Got my brick ledge on the outside. It's pretty much 5 inches all the way around. There's some areas where maybe a little bit less than 5. You can see how straight this form is. So now you can go back to the video where we did the footings. You can see how they kind of meander back and forth, and how I said it really didn't matter. Now you can see why, because the forms for your slab sit on top of that, and that's what needs to be straight. And then once we get all that done, I have to go through and level it. So about this time tomorrow night, maybe a little bit later, I need to be out here so I can run the laser. I'll put it somewhere here in the center and then just walk around and mark where everything is at. Find the highest spot, and then everything has to be level off that highest spot. So what I'll do is get a Sharpie and just go around every, oh, I don't know, 6 feet or so, and just take a measurement, and then I'll write on it how high up it needs to go. Most of these boards so far are pretty straight. One of them, this one right here, has a bit of a bow to it, and I tried to not get anything like that, but with treated lumber, of course, it can bow on you by the time you get home from the store, which is one reason why we wanted to get as much of the forms in now as we could, because right now they are screwed to the slab, or to the footing, and to, so this board in the back, you can see we got what do you call them, Tapcon in, and then it's the board screwed in this way, so that should keep it from twisting and warping. But between now and the time we pour, it should go pretty straight. And then tomorrow when we level it, I'll have blocks on the back side to raise and lower it, and then screw it in, and so that will help to secure it even more as we go around. So still left to do is all that quarter chip over there, which is the small stuff, needs to be put in here and leveled and compacted, and then the insulation needs to go down. And I went ahead and just did 4 feet around the outside, and I came up with my layout for my radiant heating last night. And so on top of that 4 foot, there'll be 4 runs, all a foot apart, all the way around the garage area. The whole living area is going to get the insulation, and then it has 4 different runs through the inside. So there's actually 2 in the shop and then 4 in here. And by a run, I mean 1 tube goes out, turns, and then comes back. And you want to have all those be relatively the same length and size. For a 1/2 inch pipe, 300 feet is good. 250 to 350 is okay. And so it's a pretty big spread there. I was able to get them all within about 10 feet of each other, around 300 feet. Your distance between them is supposed to be 6 to 9 inches. However, you can go 12 inches apart on shorter runs, but also if you're not trying to heat the house in Alaska or something. So we're kind of middle of the country, so going 12 inches apart should be able to keep the floor toasty. On the garage, the reason why we didn't do the whole inside is because that's just a large, very large space. It's not our living space, so the strips going around the outside is just going to be to kind of keep that not frozen in the winter time. And also around the edge of the slab is to keep the edge of the slab from freezing. So the valves will pop up right about in here, and those valves can be shut off and on. So if need be, let's say the house is not getting warm enough for us, I can actually shut down one or both of the lines coming through the garage area, and that'll direct more heat into the house. So tomorrow Put the pea gravel in. I got my camera guy coming out again. I just want him to run down these 3-inch lines, and I don't think he can get down the 2-inch lines. Maybe he can, but I just want to make sure that I didn't break anything. I'm mostly concerned in this area. I drove over that a lot.
What are you doing?
I'm leveling the outside where the insulation is going to go, which will be below the radiant heat. So you put insulation below it so that it helps to hold the heat in. So since in the garage area we're just doing the outside 4 feet, we can only do insulation in a 4-foot strip, and then everything out there will be level with the slab, bottom of the slab. That's the plan.
When are you gonna get the concrete poured in?
Well, who knows? One of these days. But we're running these 2 string lines here. And these are measured 2.5 inches off the top of our footing. So if you have 2.5 inches, and then you take off the 2x4, which is actually 3.5 inches, what do you get? What's 3.5 minus 2.5?
1.5?
Just 1.
Oh.
So our insulation is 1.5. So the reason why I'm going to have it a 1/2 inch higher is that when I bring the compactor across, I expect it to compact it down close to a 1/2 inch. So we're trying to keep this an inch below, and then hope it'll line up close. But if it's off a little bit, it's not a big deal.
Yep, exactly. No big deal.
That's the plan. So we've done the first 20 feet. We've got another 220 feet to go. Keep working. Work harder. Work faster. Work longer.
It's hot. It's 81 degrees today.
Something like that.
Yeah. Back in the 60s next week. That'll be good. Ticks are out.
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
Go and check my for ticks later. So they stopped at that corner, so I can still be able to get the skid steer in here and spread out the AB3 to get that up to level. And then we'll wrap around here last and start heading down that row. But right now we're working to go around this corner, head all the way down to that corner is the plan. Ooh, I hear some turkeys calling off in the distance. Anyways, just finished leveling. These laser levels are great. So you go around and find your spot where you your high spot. Then you go around, level everything to that. You just basically make sure this is the same everyone. So hear the turkeys?
Huh?
Hear the turkeys? They're off gobbling, probably in that field behind the barn.
My ears are pulled up.
But I think our worst section is over here. We're about an inch to close to 1.5 inches off in that section. So I may end up sliding a piece of wood or something under there. But this side is pretty much on the ground. That whole side's on the ground. This ended up being my high corner over there. And we leveled everything else to it. So this whole back side's got maybe a 1/2 inch to 1 inch difference in it. But not a big deal. Foundation is level. We went ahead and got this all level. This is just kind of raked in. It's not perfect yet. And then started to put some of the pea gravel, or we call it quarter chip around here, down. I turn this off, just wasting battery. This is self-leveling. So you basically get it close as you can. Hit the power button, it levels itself. I've had this thing 10 plus years. Hear that one? But I bought it for a project a long time ago, and when you're doing things yourself, those are great because you just turn it on, walk around, and shoot everything. So I've used that several times out here to shoot elevations and everything. But we left this last board off, so I'm just gonna, they're laying right there, I'm just gonna put those in when we're done putting gravel and stuff on here on the inside. I'm about to the point where I'm not gonna be able to get in here anymore. I really just need another load of AB3 just in this area, and that's pretty much it. Then we'll do the rest by hand. And then I'm gonna put my quarter chip down this side, and that whole side needs done still. So we're a week behind. This is spring break right now, so we are on Wednesday of spring break. I was hoping to pour on Friday, but it's going to be raining, and we're not going to be ready because thanks to the coronavirus stuff, all my workers left. Most of them were college students that I had hired to help me out on this, and school got out, so they all went home. Oh, plumber came, and he went ahead and ran his camera down that pipe, and we went down, I think he just went down that one and ran all the way down, and then we checked this one too, the kitchen drain, and he said that it's very good. He said that it was full of water because I hadn't pumped out from over here yet, so it was still draining in water from that last inch of rain we got. So when I turned the generator on and drained it out, he said he watched the water flow right past and out, and there's no bellies, and everything flowed just great. He said it was a very good setup. So I'm pleased to hear that. Heard that one? Yeah. So pack up, head home. Yeah, we pretty much finished up the inside today. This has been all leveled. This is what the insulation will go on top of. So I've got to rent the packer again and pack it all down. Went ahead and finished the framing. Remember, we had this section out so we could access it with the skid steer to bring more rock in the middle. This different color in the middle, that's AB3. The reason why it's not the smaller stuff is because that's where the we're not going to have heating in that area. It's not going to be insulated. So we wanted to keep the insulated part as level as we possibly can, so that the sheets of insulation will stay firm, won't break or anything like that. So of course, if you got it all waving up and down and stuff, you go put much concrete on it, could potentially break them. Now we're using, what is it, EPS or ESP? I can't remember right now. EPS, and which is basically a styrofoam with a foil backing on it. And the research that I read basically says that that's the better option. The EPX or EPX, the other brand, which is basically it's the pink stuff, and that's kind of an extruded foam type material. They found that over time that can actually lose heat or lose its insulation ability. It also doesn't reflect water as well. And there's one other thing that I read that says it's less, not the best thing to use. And plus it's twice as much. So using on the outside of the house is okay, you know, but under a slab, just a regular old styrofoam seems to be the best option from what I've read. So there's some, did not rain last night, which is good. So we're able to get out here and finish this up today. I really thought I was going to have an office day. I figured it'd be too wet to come out, but we didn't get any rain. It all went north of us. They got quite a bit up there. There's some storms, severe thunderstorms southeast of us right now, which are going to miss us, but we got a chance for pop-up storms for the rest of the afternoon into the evening. And then tomorrow should be good. See, tomorrow Saturday, Sunday is good, and then Monday is back to rain. And next week was all supposed to be no rain, and now they've changed it to pretty much rain every stinking day. So hopefully if we do get rain, it's not going to be, you know, a lot like we have been getting, so I can get out here and get this thing poured. So all I'm going to do now is I can pack this down and then pretty much wait, because I can't put the insulation down because it'll just blow away. So once my plastic comes in, my 10 mil paper barrier, you don't want to use 6 mil because studies have proven that water can still seep through it. 6 mil is what most of your contractors are probably going to use and swear by. No, I've been doing this for years, years, and years, and years, and years, and years, and years. Well, science has proven wrong. So 10 mil is what is supposed to be used now. So wait for that to come in, and what I got is the stuff that's actually built for underneath slabs. So over here you can see we got that gap under there. My plan is to take that plastic and then roll it up inside and then staple it to my form, and that will keep any concrete from blowing out underneath it. I don't expect there to be a whole lot anyways, but I want to have a good brick ledge there. And if I have these big oozes, every now and then I kind of get in the way when you're doing brick, and you gotta try and chip them off, and kind of a pain in the butt. But right here is going to be a slab. Going to connect that point down to that point. So as you're pulling into the garage, you'll have a little bit of slab there. And that'll all be covered by the roof. And then everything else beyond that's just going to be gravel for now. Maybe one day we'll actually pour it. But for right now, we just want to get that little bit done. Go from there. Oh yeah. Tired. Back hurts. I'm going to go home and have another margarita.